Hey everyone, welcome to Keana Sky Speaks, my YouTube. Today I'm going to be collaborating with a friend about healing. Her name is Yvette and my name is Keana. And together we're going to be talking about the non-linear healing, the healing that is not pretty. And I hope you enjoy.
Well, Kiana, good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you for doing this with me. So I'm so excited about it. So we're getting into healing. So I just want to really jump into it and head first. So what was your moment where you were like, hey, I'm tired of my life being like this and I want to do better, and you started your healing journey?
Well, that would have been like in 2020 when I hit rock bottom and had to go to rehab and had to start healing myself. And before that, I was doing a little bit of healing too, but then I got back into like drinking. And so I went to rehab, and that really helped me to stop drinking. I'll say that. But once I got out of rehab, that's when I decided to actually start my healing journey, and it was hard, very very hard. I cried a lot, and that's one of the things I think that I am healing is my heart still right now. 5 years later, I've been through a lot of trauma, and healing and sobriety has been my main goal for a long time.
So when you started healing and you saw how things were your fault, because that was my thing, like when I started my journey, and we'll get into that a little bit later. How did you like be gentle with yourself and not be so hard on yourself in those moments where you had to, you, because you feel that guilty feeling at first, and it's like, I can't believe I let myself do this. Like, how did you get through that part of it?
So basically, I I remembered when I was really mean to my parents, and it like really hit me. Like my dad brought home like I don't know, fast food, Arby's or something. He brought home Arby's one day, and he was like, I accidentally got an onion bun, and he was like this. He was like, I accidentally got an onion bun, and I'm like, was I really that rude to you during like my healing and my recovery and stuff? And like all that stuff, I blamed on myself, and basically how I dealt with it is I cried it out and I let it all go. And I also, if it was towards other people, then I would seek, forgiveness, and like ask them for forgiveness or something like that. But if it was just like me and it ruined my life, like I still deal with the guilt. Like it still permeates sometimes when I think about like my drinking and like how I turn when I'm drinking and stuff like that. So, but I don't drink anymore. And
But
basic,
that's one of the, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's one of the things I was going to say, that when we're healing, we feel guilty because we didn't know what we know now then, and we did things that we weren't so proud of, and we that's one of the biggest things that I want to get across to everybody that's watching this. Like, you can't feel guilty for not knowing what you know now. You you were in a place that you weren't processing those things, and it's okay to um move on from that and not sit in that anymore. And if you and as part of healing is not um sorry, you know what I'm trying to say? Help me out here. Like, healing is not a one-stop shop. Like, it's a continuous cycle, like you said, that you don't just get over everything at once and be like, oh, I'm healed.
yeah, it's
So
not a
that's,
straight line.
yeah, that's something that I wanted to interject while she was talking. But continue on. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I was just gonna say, but the biggest thing is my words. Creating my world now is to get over being guilty, is say that um in my book I even said that it's my fault. All that stuff is my fault. But the affirmation is it's my fault. Now I can change the future, or
Right,
I'm not guilty anymore. Stuff like that.
right, right. And that's a big thing. you can change anything. Like whatever happened to you doesn't define you. And that's something that we definitely have to always remember. I know for me, I had a lot of things to unpack because I escape a lot.
Hmm.
And I use sex, I use weed, and I was always on the go. Like I would never be home, I'd never be still. And I've been on my healing journey for probably like 9 years. But the last two is when I really took it serious because I ended upside down in the ditch, and I was unconscious for like 15 minutes, and I probably would have died had not, I don't know, like an image of my son popped in my head, and that's what made me start making myself come back. Like I was about to be out of here, and I
Hmm.
had tried to take myself out before, and it didn't work, and this time that was my realization, and that's what put me on my steps in my journey to really get serious and about my healing. Like, why do I keep trying to escape? And there's so many things that were going on with me that, I was in survival mode. Like being in survival mode, I was just tired of being in survival mode, and I was doing anything to escape being in survival mode besides sitting down and going through the reasons how I ended up in that way, spinning the same circle. So that's one of my issues. Um, One of the things that I had to start doing was detaching from things that didn't no longer serve me anymore. And that meant letting go of people that I used as distractions. That was one of the biggest things. Because when you're around people that really don't want the best for you, they want what they can get from you, or they want to emotionally dump on you all the time, you can't focus on your own problems. And that's something I was doing too. I was putting on my cape and trying to be superwoman and trying to help all these different people and not focusing on my own issues because I didn't want to sit with them. Sitting with your own stuff is hard. It's very hard. And it's ugly. And you find yourself crying. You find yourself mad. You find yourself upset. Like one of the biggest things for me was I had to admit a lot of things to myself that I didn't want to admit. Did you have that problem?
Yeah, I had to admit a lot of stuff, like that I had no idea what was going on. Basically, we have no idea what's going on is the biggest thing I've had to admit. Admitting that I was wrong about a lot of stuff, about pretty much everything. Um, Admitting that healing is not all rainbows and sunshine, and the path is not love and light all the time. It has to be darkness and shadows, and
Definitely not.
yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have to sit with your shadow self. And if y'all don't know what your shadow self is, that's the parts of yourself you don't like. That's the parts of you that get angry, the parts of you that get jealous, the parts of you that are sometimes you're lonely, things like that, where you want to act like those things are not going on. Like I want to act like everything's fine and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like you can't do that if you're healing. You have to be honest. Like if you're not honest, you're never going to get over it, and things are going to continue to trigger you. And triggers are things that may remind you of things that happened before, and that's how sometimes you end up in the same cycle because you don't want to accept those things and you keep repeating the same pattern. I don't know if you believe in God or source or anything like that. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel there's a higher power than you. And source is going to keep putting the same thing on you until you learn the lesson. If you want to step out of that, then you're going to have to admit these things to yourself. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
hard.
yeah, it is. It really is hard. It's hard to be that honest with yourself. And one of my problems was I would get lonely. I don't know if that happened to you. I would get lonely. Like some people say they like being by themselves, and I like being by myself now because I like the version of me now. But the version of me then, no, I didn't like being by myself. I would feel lonely, and I would want some kind of other human contact besides just sitting by myself. And healing requires a lot of isolation, so you can, cut out the noise. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. I lived I've never really actually lived fully alone before, but uh I do like I do sometimes like to be alone, but I don't think I could be alone all the time. That's my thing, and I would be, excuse me, the same as you. I would always want to call my friend over or go over to my friend's house.
Right.
And when you're always over at a friend's house or when you're going over to someone's house, like I don't know, you just never leave room for you. And like they could be over like one day and you could be over there the other day and you could just be using them for being,
Yeah. Yeah,
lonely.
you're right. You're right. It's just a way for you not to sit with your shit. That's
Yeah.
basically what it is. It's like, um, like I said, the other stuff that I was doing, like we, I feel like tend to escape a lot. Like we say we're doing things for fun. I like doing this. This is why I'm doing it. And a lot of time, and that's part of healing. You have to be honest with yourself. I do this because I don't want to think about what's going on. Because when I think about what's going on, I know there's a problem. And once you see that, you can't unsee it, and you have to do something about it. That's why I feel like a lot of people stay blind to things, kind of. They try to act like they're naive about things because once they admit it, then they're going to have to do something about it, and they don't have the energy to do it. Like a lot of people say they're like, oh, I'm lazy today, blah blah blah. It's not that you're lazy; it's just that you're tired of going through the same thing all the time, and you don't really know what to do, and your body is just kind of shutting down on you a little bit and it's sitting you down. And a lot of times when your body people, get that feeling like I need to stop, I need to sit down, they don't, they keep going. And because we have been taught that as long as we're busy, then we're accomplishing something. And that's not true because you could be moving a lot and doing nothing. And
Yeah.
that's why it's important to be still sometimes. Like that's really important.
Yeah. Speaking of being still, I've been meditating a lot lately, finding myself just being more chill and getting away from the computer sometimes and reading and stuff like that and being able to just think all my thoughts without any judgment. And it meditating helps, but when I'm really in the crux of healing and when I'm sad and lonely and stuff, I really can't get like into that state. So when people like say, "Oh, just meditate," sometimes meditating isn't gonna work.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. It's hard to shut everything out when you're having those feelings, and that's okay to feel like that. Like
yeah.
sometimes we need to be with other people. Like you find people, but you have to find the right people. That's the whole thing about this. You can't just find somebody that's going to take space so you don't have to deal with things.
Oh, I
There
just
are
found
people.
someone outside. I'm gonna bring them in. Like not
Right.
like that.
And that's what a lot of people do though. They know that these people are not aligned with them. They when I say alignment, they are not on the same type of time you're on. They're not thinking about the things you're thinking about. They're totally opposite of you. And I know they're like, oh, opposite attract, but there's a different type of opposite. If they are doing the things that you're trying to leave behind, why do you want to be around them all the time? It's
Right.
not that it's not that you don't care about them or you don't love them anymore. It's just that y'all are on two different paths and you've outgrown each other, and that's okay. It's okay to love people from a distance. Find more people that are like minded and are trying to accomplish the same things that you are. That's how we became friends.
Yeah.
Like we finally found on social media, and we pour into each other and we talk to each other and we encourage each other and keep each other's going. Everybody needs that. And it's hard to talk to people that aren't going through the same thing that you're going through because they don't understand and they tell you stupid stuff that, I mean, it's not stupid to them, but it's stupid to us because we're like, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Like they'll say, oh, well, just go meditate, or oh, just go pray about it. It'll be okay. And it's not. I mean, I'm not knocking praying or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, because a relationship with source is good because that helps guide you and guide your intuition, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying it's kind of feels like a brush off because they are not going through what you're going through. So it's important to find people on your same path. I'm not talking about trauma bonding, that's different. Don't make friendships with people because they're just going through the same stuff as you. Because when you start doing better, you have nothing in common with them, and those friendships are going to start looking one-sided, or they're going to start getting jealous. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that are actively trying to better themselves daily. Like, you need those type of people, and you need people on the level that you're trying to get to, because they're already where you're trying to get to, so they can tell you things that you didn't know, because we don't know it all, and that's something that you have to admit to yourself too. You don't know it all, and it's okay to listen to somebody else and help let them help you out.
Yeah, that's a big thing for me. Is I'm letting people who have previously triggered me talk to me and tell me their perspective, and I'm telling them mine. Um, sometimes it's crazy the people that I have as friends now that I didn't ever think would be my friends because they triggered
Right.
me, but they were really just trying
Right.
to help me, and some of them are harsh, and through my life I've had these women that are like harsh to me, but it's during my healing and it's like triggering my growth, not triggering me in a bad way. It's like triggering me in a good way. And it's more like, and sometimes like it's for me to stick up for myself because some of these women are just mean. But like, I just seriously, I know how to navigate
Right.
harsh women now. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like my bosses
I
and
get,
like
I get what you're
authoritative
saying.
women, like I've been able to keep a balance with that.
I understand that because I have a friend like that, and we basically almost stopped being friends because he was telling me the truth, but he was telling me in a way I didn't want to hear it. It
Mm-hmm.
was, and I felt attacked. That's how he was making me feel. I felt attacked, but he was telling me the truth. I was sitting in my grief, and I wasn't moving forward. And people go through stuff every day. I mean, you have to process it because that is a part of healing, but you can't just stop. The world is still going on, and you can't just wallow in it and lay there.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted somebody to comfort me, and he was like, "Look, you got to get up and get moving. Like, it's time." I didn't want to hear that shit. Like, I wanted a hug. Like, what do you mean? Don't give me that tough stuff right now. I don't want to hear it. But that's something that helped me because I did get in my mind, okay, this is what's going on. Why do you feel this way? And it made me start evaluating that stuff. And then it started making me make a plan. Like, okay, what do you need to do to get where you want to, or what does happiness look like to you? Because these are things that I didn't even think about. You would think that you would think about what makes you happy, but that's something I didn't think about because I was too busy trying to make other people happy and avoiding why I wasn't happy. So what actually made me happy, I wasn't thinking about. So
Yeah.
sometimes we need those people to give us that kick in the ass to get us moving, but sometimes people are too harsh with what I feel like they're too tough with what they say. I'm not saying sugarcoat it, but you don't have to be so blunt sometimes. And that's
Yeah.
the thing about it. You don't have to be so freaking blunt. Like, there's a way, because sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I want y'all to remember that out there. Like, maybe people are not listening to you because of your delivery, because that does matter.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand what you meant by that completely.
Yeah. You were saying something about how your friend was truthful with you, and I had a friend who I was in the depths of depression and like really sad, and I'm like, when is this healing gonna end? And he was just honest. He's probably like 10 years, 5 years, you're probably gonna get over this. And I'm sitting here like 10 years later, like good prediction. I was like 10 years.
Right. I mean, I'm proud of myself because a lot of things that I was carrying, I have let go.
Mm-hmm.
I've did what I've done, the work that I needed to do, and I've finally been able to let that go, and it's made a change in how I act with other people. And I used to feel bad when I say no, and I used to feel bad when I did certain things that I used to, and I would beat myself up about it. But healing isn't linear. Like, it's not like, oh, once you start on your healing journey, you're never gonna do anything you used to do anymore. No, sometimes you do fall, but you process that and you work through it and you move on. It doesn't mean all the healing you did previously, is out the window now.
Right.
But one thing that I would say is, what would you tell somebody that was starting their healing journey that thinks that healing is just lighting candles and writing in your journal and meditating and all love and light? Like, what would be like some things that you would tell them?
Well, first of all, I would tell them that if they believe that if it was all love and light and all candles and journaling, then they'd be sadly mistaken, especially if they've been through traumas, because you have
Right.
to really heal your traumas to heal yourself. And I would just say, remember your shadow and face it if you can. The parts of yourself that you hate, that you don't like, that like all the things that you are towards other people that is negative. Um, just just look at it before like you leap. Look before you leap.
I would feel like I would say that you need to realize that healing is not fixing you.
Mhm.
Like a lot of people feel like it's fixing them. It's not fixing you. It's you learning to be gentle with yourself while you're trying to be the best version of yourself and and you have to forgive yourself for not knowing what you knew before. Like the version of yourself now is not who you used to be, and don't try to, because a lot of people say I want to get back to the old me. You can't get back to the old you because you've done been through a lot of stuff. That version of you is gone. You have to live with the version of you that you are now and learn how to love that version of you and accept the parts of you that aren't perfect. I'm not saying don't fix them, well, not fix, but not work on being better. Because some people like to say, well, this is just how I am, people take it or not. No, if you know that you have toxic things you need to fix, you need to work on those things so you can be a better person because that will help your life tremendously. Like it really will. So those are the suggestions that I would have to someone that was starting out. And I would say be consistent. Don't, because, trying to do better, you can't do better one day and then for the next 3 weeks fall backwards. Like, no, that's not what I meant by falling backwards, like
Yeah.
at all. You got to actively try to do this or it's not going to work. So that's what I would leave them with.
Yes. Good advice.
So we are coming back again next time to tell you guys once you start your healing journey and then you realize, okay, I don't want this anymore. How do I actually find out what it is I'm supposed to be doing? So that's what we'll be back with next. I hope to see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.